We are the underdog in this race, and we have some hard work then ahead of us.
I call her Comrade Kamala because she's radical left. She's a radical left Marxist, and that's what she is, and she'll destroy our country.
63 days, here we go now. Both candidates from over the weekend. I want to show you a few things that are really fascinating. How much money is going to be spent in these battleground states. I want you to think about Pennsylvania. I want you to think about Georgia for the sake of this exercise, all right? Here is Pennsylvania. This is the projected spending now through Election Day, November 5th. $211 million between Trump and Kamala Harris. Very close spending thus far between those two campaigns. Pop down to Georgia right here. Projected spending $87 million, and we think Harris will probably have an edge in the ad buying, an edge in the money, and it may help her in the end. We'll see whether or not how much that matters, okay? Now, why are we doing all this? We're doing this because we're trying to figure out, come here, the path to 270. Wall Street Journal had a very interesting write-up over the weekend. Remember, we've been talking about Georgia as Trump's firewall? Talking about Pennsylvania as Kamala Harris's firewall. That's what the Journal did, okay? I'm going to put this into action because the race is to 217. We have Trump at 219. We have Kamala Harris at 225. Now, we're considering here that New Hampshire's not in play and Minnesota's not in play and Virginia's not in play. But here is what we're seeing, okay? If Trump defends Georgia, he's at 235. If Trump were to hold North Carolina, as he did in 2020, 251, he would only need Pennsylvania to get to 270. Now, I'm going to take these three states off and show you what she is up against in the Harris campaign. If she were to defend Pennsylvania, if she were to sneak in and take Georgia, she would only need one of the 5 other states remaining, okay? Nevada would not do it, but North Carolina would. Michigan would. See how that changes? Wisconsin would at 270. Arizona would. So you see now why there is so much spending now in places like Pennsylvania and Georgia. So come on in, Dana. Come in, Karl Rove, and let's talk about this. What do you want to add to that, Karl? Let's begin.
Well, I want to step back for just a minute. You sort of touched on this. The start of this is in the 7 battleground states, there are 93 electoral college votes. Donald Trump, if you take the states that he won last time around that are not battlegrounds, he has 219. If you take the states that were won last time by Joe Biden that are not battleground states and award them to Harris, it's 223 is what she would start with. So Trump needs 51 electoral college votes and Harris needs 44 in order to get to the 270 magic number. And you're right. I mean, there are a large number of combinations that you can use to get there. One part that we didn't talk about is that 2 states, Maine and Nebraska, divide their electoral college vote by congressional district. And in order to win, the Democrats generally think they have to take the Omaha seat. And Republicans think that if they've got to win, if they're going to win, they need to take the upper 2/3 of Maine, the 2nd congressional district, which is far more conservative than the 1st district, which is in the south and southeast part of the state.
Talk to us about this balancing act. Here's Politico. The headline is, Harris puts her Biden balancing act on display in Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris doesn't want Joe Biden's baggage, but she's also counting on him to help her win the election. How do you manage that?
Well, look, I think this was, I think the article was a little bit off. If I were the Harris campaign, I'd say we got to get him out there so that his feelings are not hurt. He can help us maybe in Pennsylvania because that's where he grew up. But let's get it done and get it out of the way so that we can say we've done it. I think they wanted to get it done on Labor Day, give the president a chance to be on the campaign trail. I think it is highly unlikely that we're going to see much of him, if any, future appearances on the campaign trail.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.